Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals a 0 hour to make the best game ever. Yeah, this session I thought we'd do a little bit of a different work. So over the last weeks I did show you the game design committee candidate application process and the voting. And now actually it has concluded 6 days ago already. Antipro made here a post. So just to refresh you, so the game design committee process put up for election the candidates, and then voting was done so that we can build up a framework where we have people that were elected that can make game design decisions for the people that voted for them, right? So community decided who would get the favor of the voters to represent them, where they thought that they would be good candidates to make the right decisions for game design changes or bug fixes and things like this. And yeah, this has concluded. Let's read through this. So Antipro made here the post on gamereplays.org. He writes, hello everyone, my deepest apologies for the delays, blah, blah, blah. Initial results. Smaller amount of time was also needed to make, okay, blah, blah. Further ado, at the moment, all been waiting for, blah, blah. You and the whole General Zero Hour community were asked to cast their votes for the favorite candidates to enter the game design committee. And the result is that the following 7 individuals have been elected. So there were 21 candidates that applied and 7 were elected. Dominator, let me make this larger in case it's hard to see. Dominator, Excal, Maraca, Rising, Spalding, Stubiax, and Xezon were elected. Yeah, so 7 people. At this stage, it's too early to say thank you to the candidates who did not make it yet, because they may still be elected after the redistribution process, but that will follow in due course. The full results can be seen in the charts below. So let's take a look at that. Oof, that is very large. Can we make it smaller? Yeah. Okay, I hope that this comes through the video well. It looks a bit small. I think, yeah, I guess it's fine. You need to sharpen your eyes. So, yeah, so it's a bit wide. As you can see, it doesn't fit on my screen. Yeah. So the green line here represents the threshold that an elected that the candidate needed to reach to be elected. Yeah. And the purple line up here, that's the average amount of points of elected candidates. Yeah, so Dominator here is above the threshold. Excal, Exile very close, Goldfish very close, Marmo very close, Maraca way above. Rising made it, Spalding made it, Stubiax made it, and Xezon made it. Yeah. And and then the rule was for the election that those people that were elected above the average, which is here the purple line. So do like this here maybe. So everyone above the purple line would be able to redistribute all the points above this line, but not more than 50% of the total votes. So yeah, just this chunk here, to other candidates, to up to 2 candidates each. So Excal and Xezon would be able to redistribute points to a maximum of 4 other candidates to lift them up as well. Yeah. So that was the rule. Then what happened was the committee opened the Discord. So the elected candidates opened the Discord server, and then they sat together and they decided together which other people to lift into the committee. So Dominator, Excal, Maraka, Rising, Sporting, Stubiak, Saison met together, and they decided to also bring Exile and Marmo. Yeah. So Exile was very active in 21 to 23 in a lot of game design related discussions and bug discussions. So he had very good track record of dedication and good insights and good ideas, and so he was a good pick. And Marmo is very good, or the best Twilight Flame 50k player, very professional. The guys have very high opinion of him. I don't know much about him, but yeah, the other people were very the other committee members were very fond of him, so we lifted him as well. And yeah, so this will be 9 people. So all the ones that have been elected plus Exile and Marmo, they are now in the game design committee. Yeah. And everyone else, unfortunately, not. Yeah. So that's the result. And so let's go back. And let's go here. Yeah, then there was a recap here. How the points were calculated. First choice 10.6421. Total points divided by number of votes times 1000. That was the threshold, right? The average points. Okay, I don't understand what this refers to. Doesn't matter. Here, this is the threshold. Total points divided by candidate count, or 50% of the votes leader, but this one was a smaller one, so this one took effect. Yeah. And then, yeah, then the redistribution happened, and that was about it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So basically the committee is now these 7 plus Exile and Marmo. And I think there's a very wide range of experiences and expertises. Yeah, I would say out of all of these people, I'm probably the most noob player. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I was, to be fair, I was better player back in the day, like around, around 2012. I think I was pretty okay. Yeah, I was able to beat a lot of players, but then I didn't play much anymore afterwards. I played a lot from 2005 to 2012, so 7 years I played a lot, and afterwards it has been steadily declining, and the last years I didn't actually play much at all, or at all. Yeah, but I understand the game, so you do not worry. Yeah, I understand the game. I know all the units, all the weapons, all the upgrades, and so don't worry about that. I would also say I'm probably, together with Stubiaks, I'm probably the least how do you say, conservative. Yeah, maybe I am the least conservative out of all of them. I expect that Dominator is probably the most conservative person who wants to touch as little as he can. Yeah, and the other guy is probably somewhere in the middle between Dominator and myself, I guess. Yeah, I can't. It's hard to judge yet, but maybe in the future we see, like when decisions are being made, then we can see, who's more likely to be happy about touching something and who's less happy to touch something. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm lenient. Yeah, so I'm still, in my mind, I'm still conservative, but not as much as Dominator. Yeah, So I'm still of the opinion that we shouldn't remove units or add new units or modify the factions in ways that go into modding territory, right? So like fix bugs, I'm very much in favor, as I've written in my candidate application. And design changes whenever it makes a useless unit better, I'm in favor of that. Or if it solve something that is just like a confusing design, or like a design that makes no sense, like it's unintuitive or it's exploitative, or it's not fun, or it's unbalanced in a way, like then I'm in favor of looking at this thing and figuring out like some solution. Because in my opinion, the game design of 0 Hour, it's fine, but it's not at its pinnacle. Definitely not. I mean, we can see like it has always been a pain for players that the factions were so imbalanced. For example, in 1 versus 1, super weapon general against Air Force, for example, not a great sight typically. Okay. Anyway, so that's that. We are, as I said, we have a private Discord server right now where we already did some high-level decisions on some of the fundamentals, like which platform do we use as our primary home, which will be GitHub, where this repository will be. So for now, we will have it in the Super Hackers organization. And so I already created this a month ago here as a test. And so I can just pick this up, do this. Right now, there's no content in here yet. I did create some discussions, some categories here, but there's nothing in here yet. So I think over time we will we'll have some contents in here once we get into discussions. Right now, basically the discussions that we start with are all the things that are already here in code and in patch. Right, so there is this code repository where we will work on a lot of things for code, and there are issues, and there are bugs, a lot of bugs here. So these things can be reviewed, and then we also have the patch repository, which is the data repository, and there we have a lot of bugs as well, but also design issues or proposals and things like this. That said, like this one looks like it needs like some. This looks like it needs some triage to add labels here. Okay. So apart from that, Spalding and Stubiak, they already put some effort here into creating a voting board. So basically they copied all the action items that are currently in these 2 repositories here that I just showed you. And they just dumped it here into this Excel sheet. And everyone in this committee has write access and can make a vote here on the controversial bugs for now. So one of the decisions we made is to, for now, just focus on bugs and maybe quality of life things when appropriate. Like the bug with the hackers, where you select the hackers and then they restart hacking when you click the button to hack, like things like fixing things like this. Which you could actually say it's a bug, right? It is a bug as well, if you think about it. But right now we don't look at design change proposals or balance changes or tweaks or things like this. So the focus is bugs right now. Okay, so I thought that maybe here in this session we can go through this list. It's not that much. It's just, I don't know, looks like 100 or so. Yeah. It's, yeah, let's do it like this. Yeah, I hope you can see it well. Yeah. How do we do this? Let's do it together. Well, it's not a it's not a live stream. Actually, it would be interesting as a live stream, right? You can spam the comments sections, yeah, the live stream chat, and I won't read it. Yeah. As usual, when I do live streams, yeah, of tournament matches, also I never read the chat really. Well, except in the breaks, I read it. Yeah. So good. So the good thing is I already have a lot of knowledge about all these topics because, well, I spent the last 4 years working on these things. So these things should be familiar to me, but maybe not to you. So let's walk through them. Well, start here at the top. Yeah. Now we can close the other tabs here. Yeah. Okay, so this one, Demo General Combat Bike with Demolitions Upgrade deals no damage when destroyed by Gamma Poison. Yeah. So Combat Bike with a terrorist and the Demolitions Upgrade deals no damage to enemies when destroyed by the Anthrax Gamma weapon only. Yeah, it's a nonsense bug. Needs fixing. Yeah. It's a minor though. Yeah. Relax set. I don't get it. That's not good. Okay, I did write here I'm in favor of this change for consistency's sake, and it's also merged. Approved, so I already approved it, so of course I approve it. Right. Okay, so the next one. Let's see. This change redistributes ground gun damage values of the quad cannon to achieve a proper damage progression. Okay, we first need to look at the actual bug. So the bug is number 56. Well, I don't know why I said this. It doesn't matter. So the bug is. Oh wow, that's a bit small. I hope you can see this well here. Otherwise, we have to make it even larger. So the bug is that when the quad cannon is vet 0, no veteran C, and it picks up one scrap, it gets 60% bonus. It picks up a second scrap, it's still 60% bonus. Okay. If it is veteran 1, 1 star, and it has no scrap, then it has 120% damage output. And if it picks up a scrap, then that decreases to just 76%. Same with second scrap. And same for the other guy. So as soon as a quad cannon has promotion, it's not good to pick up scrap because then the quad cannon gets weaker. Yeah? So that's a deal here. Yeah? So keep in mind, quad cannon never pick up scrap. Yeah. So I'm very much in favor of fixing this bug. Like this progression needs to be fixed. Now, whether it's fixed by this guy, that's another question. I would like to see, is 56 up for vote as well? It is. No. Where is it? Okay, I'm not fond of this. Why is this up for vote? But like I think that this should be up for vote first. Like this bug should be up for vote. Let me take a notepad. 1055 56 should be up for votes. Maybe it's somewhere here. Maybe we should sort them by ID. Well, that didn't help. Filter by values. No, we don't want to filter. We want to sort. How do we sort this? How do we sort this here by... It's weird, like there are numbers here, but we can only sort alphabetically. How does that make sense? Oh, well, that did sort. Huh. No, 56 is here, but it's code. Okay. Okay, so I'm in favor of fixing the bug. Now, whether this is the right implementation or not, it's unclear to say. Yeah. Now, this one is merged, so I personally was happy with it, but it could be better, of course. So, yeah. So I'm in favor of fixing this, but I think it still needs discussion as to like the exact exact implementation details. Yeah. Yeah. So I would put it on yes, because in principle I want to see the bug fixed, but yeah, the way we fix quad cannon damage per second, that's up for debate, right? There are different ways to do it. So the way we fix it here, let me go through that. We basically redistributed the damages so that without the scrap it deals less damage, and then with the scrap it deals more damage, so that on average the quad still deals like the same kind of damage, but just with like a proper progression. Yeah. Can we see this here somewhere? Patched version 3. Oh, it's probably hard to see. So this is it's hard to read. A lot of research went into this. So I guess this one is the damage progression now. So 60%, 92%, 120%, 76%, 108%, 140%, 92%, 124%, 160%. So it's basically the invert, and like it redistributes the damages and just corrects them. So like the same values as it was before, but not that you get like less damage power, but more. The more veterancy you gain and the more scraps you pick up with a quad cannon. That's basically the deal here. Yeah. Though what I can say is that the implementation kind of sucks. So with code, maybe we can have a better implementation. Because if you look at this, like this is the implementation and it's kind of dirty. Yeah. I mean, it's like magic values here. It's kind of tough. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a bit wild. Yeah. Okay. Toxin General RPG Trooper shoots Stinger missiles. So this issue is... Let's take a look at this video here. Yeah. Okay, let's repeat that again. Yeah. So this guy is a toxin guy, and his rocket missile can track the aircraft because it's a Stinger type. It's not the normal rocket. So by accident, they gave the toxin rocket trooper a Stinger missile, the one from the Stinger sights. So this guy is much better. Yeah. Here's another comparison. It also flies faster. Look at this. See? So the toxin RPG trooper is just superior. Very powerful. Yeah. Here's another video. This is a normal trooper. Yeah. And here's a toxin trooper in isolation. Yeah. See, he has a much better time to hit these planes with his missile. Okay, there are a bunch of more videos like this. So the advantage is twofold. Toxin RPG tracking follows planes far away. Toxin RPGs fly faster and can kill targets quicker. Yeah. Yeah. So in principle, as a toxin player, I really like that the RPGs are so powerful. So in that sense, like I think it makes sense to fix the bug, but on the other hand, it's kind of neat that the toxin trooper has like a unique property. Like it makes the game more interesting. It's weird because it's somehow unjustified, but I don't know. It makes the game richer in content. So I was never really sure whether we should like fix it. It's a bug, but it's kind of nice in a way because like it makes a toxin general really powerful. But the problem is a toxin general already is very powerful regardless. Yeah, with all this toxin shit and the gamma upgrade. But it gives like the toxin general a unique property with this RPG trooper. So it's nice in a way, but it's annoying as well to play against, right? So I don't know. Like in principle, it would be nice to fix, but I would say, in principle, I'm okay with fixing it, but I would put it on unsure because I think like a bit of discussion doesn't hurt here to figure out like if this can be like an explicit feature of some sort. Yeah. So I would put unsure as well. Yeah. Okay. Use a battle drone does not deal much damage. Let me see that. So, USA battle drone appears to have troubles attacking targets. Sometimes it just fires a single shot at a target and then waits for multiple frames before hitting again. On top of that, the weapon deals relatively little damage. Original battle drone machine gun, 7.5, radius 0, small arms. 20, radius 5, sentry drone gun 40, Humvee gun 50. Yeah, so yeah, it's small. It's less than a Hellfire. Okay, it has no splash damage. Fix attack behavior, increase weapon damage. I think fixing the attack behavior, I think that makes a lot of sense because sometimes the drone, it flies to an enemy target and then it shoots like one shot and then it flies away again. Yeah, and it has trouble like attacking something. Like the AI of this is bugged in a way. So I would say like we need to look at the behavior and fix the behavior, at least. Whether the damage needs buffing, I don't know. I think that's not that important because it's also a repair drone, right? So it can apply damage and it can repair the host vehicle. Yeah, and the Hellfire cannot do this, but it has splash damage and explosion damage, which is pretty good. Yeah, but the attack behavior, I think that needs to be fixed. So I will put that on yes. Yeah. Does not deal much damage. Yeah. USA pilots can promote GLA combat bikes. USA pilots can promote GLA combat bikes. Let me see that. So, this change prevents USA pilots from promoting GLA combat bikes. Rationale. It makes no sense, and it leads to promoted units that should never promote, such as workers and saboteurs. These units do not work nicely with promotions, meaning they do not receive any benefits from promotion, not even health or regen, so nothing is lost here. USA pilots from promoting GLA combat bikes. So I did write, I do not mind either way. If pilot can be put into any other vehicle, then it's also okay to put it in bike. Yeah, it's not very logical, because then you have actually two people sitting in the bike, right? Generally, this is not seen as a problem. Yeah. How would you like to proceed with this? Also, can we remove bug label? To me, it seems design. Yeah. It's obviously a bug because it can be used to promote workers. The proper fix would be to have pilot be able to enter bike with specific passengers only. Aha. Even that seems strange to me. Where does a pilot go? He's obviously not the rider, and a bike has no other crew, unlike any other vehicle. That seems strange to me. Where does a pilot go? He's obviously not the rider, and a bike has no other crew. He hides in the bike cargo box and gives instructions. Man, I'm a real joker. Wow. Why not just have the pilot actually ride the bike? Promoting infantry with pilots feels like an exploit. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think either way is fine. Like, it can be, like, we can do it. I think I wrote that as well, right? What did I write again? I do not mind either way. I still have this opinion. When did I write this? 3.5 years ago. Yeah. I still have the same opinion on this. It's fine either way. Yeah. We can maybe fix it another way now with the code, right? It doesn't have to be fixed the exact same way. Yeah. I would put on yes. I think it's fine. Yeah. Good. Next, prevent pilots from entering Humvee without promoting them. That actually, let's open this. This forbids no garrison flag objects from entering Humvee. No garrison is unique to pilot and makes him unable to enter civilian buildings, tunnels, and bunkers. Cursor still appears and it promotes the Humvee when entered. This means VET-3 Humvees can no longer transport pilots. Okay, so the problem is the problem is that sometimes you put a pilot into a Humvee and it's not promoting the Humvee, but it's entering the Humvee and goes into the cargo. Yeah, and other times it will promote the Humvee, and it's like this inconsistency in behavior. So I think now with the code we can make a better fix for this and say, if you just click on the Humvee, it always promotes it, and if you do like a control click on it, then it enters as a passenger, or the other way around, so that you have like full control. Like, I want to put this pilot in there and transport him, or I want to promote the Humvee. So you have full control. And so I don't think that this fix is needed, but fixing this behavior is still needed. So I would say yes, but we fix it a different way. Yeah. That's my take on this. Yeah. Prevent so yeah, it's a bit it's something that we can discuss. Like yeah, when this comes up to like actual implementation or rejection, then I will explain this. Yeah. What do we have here? Locomotor makes units move faster diagonally. Units move faster diagonally up to 1.41 times faster. Do we have a video of this? No. Actually, there is somewhere. Should be. Yeah, here. I made a video here. Here. So the bug is units moving diagonally over the map travel much faster than if they go in straight lines, up, left, right, down. Yeah. And with a fix, it would look like so. Tank is moving equally fast in every direction. And all the rockets and everything that is moving now moves properly with a fix. Yeah. The way you would expect. Yeah. I'm like in principle, I'm very much in favor of fixing this because it should never have been a bug in the first place. So I would definitely vote yes, and I expect that it will be a very good change. But of course, people can test. But I'm very positive that this is a good thing. So I will already vote yes on this. It can't be any other way. So I'll put yes. It's just logical to me that this is the right behavior because like think about the inverse. Like you wouldn't make a game and deliberately put the wrong movement speeds depending on the direction they go. Like you wouldn't do this. Like you would think that doesn't make any sense. Like why would it be good that the game behaves that way? Right? So it doesn't make any sense. Okay, what do we have here? Attacking infantry emerging from destroyed fireports. Fireport vehicles are unresponsive to player commands. Ah, right. So this is about... yeah, so when the outpost dies and then the rocket troopers, then they walk and then they don't take commands. Yeah, so they struggle to attack now. Yeah, this needs fixing, of course. It can't be any other way. Yeah. So that is, are we in a correct line here? Yes, it's a bit inconvenient to be here at the last column. Need to look very closely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this needs to be fixing. It's just annoying. Like, if you don't have control over your units, it's very bad. Yeah. Good. What do we have here? Search and destroy affects detection range only on some units. Search and destroy detection range only when it is omitted in the staff detector update, since it defaults to vision range, which search and destroy extends. Explicitly setting it breaks this. Pathfinder get extended detection, whereas a captured listening outpost doesn't. Aha. It says independent balancing, but all it does is introduce misbehavior. Ah. Search and destroy affects detection range only on some units. Aha. Okay, so some units don't benefit from the search and destroy range. Okay, I think that makes sense to fix. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm USA and I have China forces, then I should be able to look. Well, it's somewhere between bug and design. You could argue that only USA units benefit from this search and destroy, and other factions like GLA and China, they don't have this USA tech in their units, so they can't benefit from it. So I don't know, it could be, you could design it either way. I think it's not the bug per se. If it's consistent, it needs to be consistent across factions. So if all GLA units and all China units don't benefit from search and destroy vision range or detection range, then I think it is fine to keep it that way. So I would put it on unsure. Pathfinder get extended detection. Yeah. So I'm surprised that the other guys so far voted yes on this, because to me it's not clear whether this is actually desired. It's not a bug, I think. It depends. You would have to look at the data and like see what is the usage pattern across the other factions. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Subroutine script always evaluate every frame even when explicitly set differently. What? What does that mean? This works perfectly if the box script is subroutine is unchecked. Always evaluate every frame, even when explicitly set differently. Okay, this is not a design thing. Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is not relevant for this. Change. Reduce drone armor upgrade bonus of USA battle drone from 50% to 25%. This change reduces the drone armor bonus of USA battle drone from 50% to 25%. This makes the armor bonus consistent with all other drones. So original sentry drone, original spy drone, original scout drone, hellfire drone, original battle drone, they all get a 25% bonus, except for the battle drone. And yeah, so this one is a nerf. Rational. Slave drones do tank a lot of damage from GLA quad cannons and China Gatling tanks, with and without the drone armor upgrade. Not upgraded, a battle drone dies after 80 hits from a GLA quad cannon, while a Humvee dies after 48 hits. Acquiring the drone armor upgrade will increase that to 120 hits. This means an upgraded battle drone will withstand 2.5 times as many bullets as a Humvee does. Okay, it's a pretty strong drone. Man. If you put, it's always good to put these things into perspective to really like get to, like if you just look at these numbers, like if you just looked at like this number, like 50%, you wouldn't really understand, okay, is this good or bad, right? Is this strong or not strong, right? But once you put it into perspective with other units, in this case, quad cannon against Humvee and against drone, it becomes obvious that it's really strange, right? The decrease of the drone armor bonus is by no means a big nerf for the USA battle drone. It remains very tough with it, identical to the other drones. Yeah, to me, this looks like a reasonable nerf. It's just outrageously strong, right? It's still weak against rockets, right? So rockets kill the drones pretty well, but they tank so much damage from Gatling weapons. It's quite insane. So I'm very much in favor of this one, of course. Well, I opened the change after all. Yeah. Okay, let's clean up here a little bit. So empty, well, at this speed, we won't get done this session here, I think. Empty China Overlord and Gatling Cannon can reveal all stealth units. Empty China Overlord and Gatling Cannon, yeah. Investigate if this behavior can be adjusted. Decide whether or not this behavior should be changed. Empty China Overlord and Gatling Cannon can reveal all stealth units. I think this needs fixing. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably a code bug. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should move it to codes. Let me add the executable. I did remove it. Added executable and then removed it again. Why? Is this code? Probably it's code. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but I think this makes sense to fix. Yeah, it makes no sense that a empty overlord with Gatling cannon can detect stealth units. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Bugged script attacked by the player. There's a frame check that doesn't even use it. I think this also looks like something that is script related and not rated for us here. Bug fix. Consistently yield. What is this? Consistently yield experience for direct poison kills. This change causes units who die via poison status to consistently yield experience to the poison status source. This is only applicable to poison damage dealt directly, rather than via a spawned OCL, such as a poison field. It is not applicable to poison damage that is applied after the source has been destroyed. If a toxin stream projectile no longer exists at the time of poison death, no experience is awarded, which happens when lightly spraying an infantry unit and then running away. The infantry unit does not yield experience when succumbing to the poison damage tick, as a toxin stream no longer exists. This change essentially makes experience yields consistent for units directly killed by poison damage weapons. So here the guy kills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys and is 1 star. Yeah, okay. And here, after the Toxin Rebel consistently gains experience when scoring a kill, ranking up after killing 2 tank hunters, as expected. Let's see. 1, 2. So the bug definitely needs to be fixed, but I think there's also a case to make here that maybe this needs a follow-up change and look into the experience progression of the Toxin Rebel to see if he maybe needs to kill more to level up, because he does have a stronger gun than the Rangers or the Red Guards. So maybe this guy should require to kill a few more guys. Yeah. So in principle, I'm in favor of fixing this. Yeah, can we add a note here? Let me add a note here. May need to revisit toxin rebel experience levels after fix. I think I had some other notes here on the other guys, so let me I will add a note. It is not it's not yet proven that this is a bug. Let me add a comment here as well. I think this needs some research. I think this needs more research to conclude that this is indeed a bug. If the vision range of Chile and China units is consistently not extended, then this could be a design decision. Then this is more like a design decision. The vision range of Chile and China units is consistently not extended with search and destroy. Then this is more like a design decision. If it just affects some odd units, then it indicates bug. Let me add this comment as well in GitHub. Maybe worthwhile to revisit the toxin rebel experience level after this fix. Maybe this was where to revisit the toxin rebel experience levels after this fix. In case is leveling up a little too fast now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, then say reports 65 for boats. Mm-hmm. Okay, consistently yield experience for direct flame kills. This change causes units and buildings that die via flammable status to consistently yield experience to the flammable status source. Yeah, okay, so it's the same as the Toxin Rebel case. Sorry. Toxin Rebel case. Score the kill on a unit. Yeah, so it's the same thing that sometimes, well, always pretty much. The Dragon Tank. Yeah, it doesn't get experience here when it kills this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, this definitely needs fixing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so next is this here. Increase reload time of USA Patriot missile assist weapons from 1000 to 2000. This one has been reverted. Reverted. This one was reverted because this change reversed because it does not work correctly. Every second assisted attack no longer shoots the missiles. Lowering the clip reload time just a bit does not solve it either. Okay, then this is a no from me. No. Fix missing horde condition of nationalism and fanaticism weapon bonuses. This change fixes the missing horde condition of nationalism and fanaticism weapon bonuses. The fix is opt-in by setting action horde fixed. Yeah, so this as one is interesting. By default, the game uses the new fixed behavior, but the retake game will still use the old bug behavior because all modules explicitly set action equals horde. Yeah. So basically, what happens originally, the you get the nationalism or the fanaticism upgrades, and they apply to all the units regardless of the horde condition. And it's not the way it was designed. Like the tooltips explicitly say that these bonuses should only take effect when they are in a horde condition. And so this is also one of the reasons why infantry general is so strong. Like all his units, they start with nationalism from the get-go, yeah, and have like better firing rate, I think. Yeah. So it's pretty. It's a big nerf, though. So in principle, it's good to fix this, but it will have consequences on balance, right? It will make China weaker. So it's tough call. I think it's something that needs to be, yeah. It needs the. I think it's very desirable to fix this behavior, but then it needs to be tested in the way that, okay, are these units still competitive? Like, is China worse off now, right? On the other hand, I know that there are also other bug fixes that benefit China, right? So it's not like China will get a ton of nerfs now, yeah. But it is a bug that benefited China, and you take it away, China is weaker. Well, infantry general gets also nerfed, which I think is a good thing, because infantry is quite strong. So I think it's good, but it probably still needs a bit of looking into, like, how the balancing then is afterwards. Okay. Sniper can shoot empty GLA Stinger side, but not empty USA Firebase. Sniper can shoot empty GLA Stinger side, but not empty USA Firebase. Yeah. Yeah. Shoot empty GLA Stinger. It's not clear to me what behavior is ultimately preferred. Stinger side behavior pro. Sniper and other units in group selection can click and attack stinger side. Stinger side behavior contrast. Snipers shoot on structure all the time. I was not able to streamline behavior either way. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the way it needs to be fixed is they should not shoot onto the stinger side all the time, right? That's what's happening, right? They shoot all the time on the stinger, if I remember correctly. Shoot empty. Why am I mistaken here? No, they don't auto shoot on it, right? No. But they can shoot empty Chile stinger side, but not empty USA Firebase. Stinger side. Sniper and other units in group selection can click and attack stinger side. Okay, I write it's not clear to me what to do, so I would say unsure, because I'm really not sure what to do about this. Unsure. Well, I mean, it needs to be fixed. Well, let's say it needs to be streamlined in a way that the behavior is consistent. But I don't know which way it needs to be fixed. So I actually set it to true. Yes. Like, it needs to be streamlined in a way that the behavior is consistent, but I don't know which way it should be fixed. Yeah, I think that's the right decision. Fix hard-coded cache hack value for Black Lotus. This change allows effect value defined and this model to control the amount of cache. Okay, this is that's a code bug. Yeah. Requires an ancient to restore. I can mark as controversial for extra awareness. Yeah, okay. The code bug is fine to fix. But whether the Lotus, Black Lotus actually needs 1500 money or not is another question. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't explain that well. What I meant by that is, so if you fix this bug, then the China infantry Black Lotus can steal 1500 cash from supply depots instead of 1000. Because the INI setting is this way, but because of the code bug, it still stole 1000. Yeah. Okay, next. Fix damage calculation for determining the initial death of GLA battle bus. This change fixes the damage calculation for determining the battle bus initial death, meaning it no longer prematurely dies when receiving damage via radiation or poison fields. The issue is most notable when receiving damage via radiation or poison fields due to hazard field core weapon, an invisible 200 damage hazard cleanup weapon that typically accompanies poison and radiation fields to stop them from stacking. As no armor damage modifiers are applied to ignore the hazard cleanup damage, the battle bus dies when receiving damage from this source if health is smaller equal to 100. Even an ambulance can kill a battle bus by exploiting this logic. Yeah, so this is a good bus, he says. Good bus. Very good. Okay, great. Okay, this I think that's it's a good fix. Okay. Fix civilian vehicle crush levels. What is this? This change fixes crush levels of civilian unused vehicles. Civilian Humvee 1 can now crush trees crushed by vehicles, blah, blah. Supply truck, civilian farmer truck. Yeah, controversial. Truck work is used in popular DEFCON 6 map. If cars in DEFCON 6 are meant to be crushable, then cars in DEFCONs need to be replaced with similar car that is crushable by generals vehicles. Right. Truck work is used in popular DEFCON 6 map. Yeah. I mean, I made this change and I agree with what I did. Okay, what's the next one? Fixed stacked unit healing time inside multiple GLA tunnel networks. This change fixes tunnel stacking, the healing behavior for each existing tunnel. Tunnel contain module specifies a healing time of 5000 milliseconds, 5 seconds for its occupants. This works as expected when there is a single tunnel. However, when there are two tunnels, this time drops to 2500 milliseconds. Both tunnels are applying the healing. Yeah. So every time you build a new tunnel, the healing time is halved. Yeah. So you start with 5,000 milliseconds for one tunnel, then 2,500 milliseconds, then 1,250 milliseconds, and so on and so on, until here's the progression until if you have 9 tunnels, the healing time is 20 milliseconds. So pretty much instant. Yeah, one frame. So I think the code bug should be fixed. May need to adjust healing time afterwards. After fix. Okay. Reward unit experience for kills caused by OCL objects. This change allows deaths caused by OCL objects to yield experience to their creators. This covers OCLs such as firestorms, fire fields, firewalls, radiation and poison fields, fuel air bombs. By the way, the one where I voted no, the bug fix is bugged. The bug fix. Actually, let me change it from no to unsure. Maybe with code we can make a proper fix. I will set it to unsure. Yeah. Set it to unsure. Yeah. Let me remove the smiley. That's not very professional here. Yeah. Okay, well, we didn't get very far yet. Where are we here? So, this change allowed deaths caused via OCL objects to yield experience to their creators. So, firestorms, radiation and poison fields, and fuel air bombs from the Alpha Aurora will give promotion to the host unit. Yeah. So let's take a look at this guy. The hackers walk over the radiation. Oof. Oof. And it levels up. Yeah. What do we have here? The Alpha Aurora becomes 3-star immediately. I think I made a comment here. Yeah. Alpha Aurora getting this buff is comedy. Yeah. Okay, so in principle, I think the bug fix is very desirable, but we need to adjust some, well, just some Experience levels. After fix. It depends, like, I don't know. Like, the problem is the alpha or it will be a weapon of mass destruction. Like, it kills an army and it's instant 3-star. So, I don't know. Just to keep something in mind, like you buff this thing, and maybe it's a good idea to then revisit the unit level experience requirements. Yeah. Okay, what do we have here? Demo general technical has to reset the turret to suicide. When ordering the technical to suicide, the turret has to realign to face directly forward before the vehicle explodes. It may take up to 0.75 seconds before the technical explodes, in case it was just firing at something directly behind it. This is not an issue with any other unit. Reproduce. Force fire the ground behind the technical and then use the suicide ability. After dispatch, the technical explodes immediately without delay. Yeah, this is a no-brainer fix. What do we have here? The evacuates buttons on the Humvee and the ambulance are not at the same position, which means the player can't mass evacuate units if a group of Humvees and ambulances are selected at once. This is not an issue in generals and was only introduced presumably when the Hellfire drone was added and the column number was increased. The same happens for the technicals and battle buses. The same happens for the troop crawlers and outposts. After patch, same slot is used for all units. No more shadowing. I think this is also a good fix. What do we have here? GLA salvage crate can no longer be removed by scaffolds. With this change, the GLA salvage crate can no longer be removed by scaffolds. Crates simply stay intact under the scaffold until they are picked up or time out. Rational. It took until around year 2017 for top players to figure out the obscure exploit of removing visible and invisible salvage crate objects by placing scaffolds over them. In top level matches, this is now exploited accordingly. The reason this is accepted by top players is a weakness of China against scrapped GLA. A fully scrapped GLA technical, for example, can present a major problem in the early stages of a China build. Since this project aims to strengthen China and make all factions matchups more playable, this exploit ideally will no longer be required to achieve fair chances for China versus GLA. The big advantage is clean game mechanics and no exploits sold as features to achieve some sort of balancing. The big disadvantage is that this fundamentally changes how top-level GLA matches are played, which almost always revolve around scrap scaffold exploits. For many noob, semi, and pro players, this change is inconsequential because they do not use this obscured exploit to gain the advantage. Maybe that has changed. I'm not sure if this judgment here still holds true. Maybe many people use this. This change also makes the mechanics consistent with the inability to delete money crates and any other pickable crate which was implemented. This change also makes the mechanics consistent with the inability to delete money crates. Yeah. I'm in favor of fixing this. Yeah. No longer be removed. I'm in favor of fixing this because the goal, as it described, the goal is to make the game balanced so that this exploit is no longer necessary. Yeah, and maybe it can be removed. It can be replaced by some other feature that allows you to remove scaffolds, for example, by shooting on it. Yeah, like actually give Maybe replace exploits with explicit feature to remove scraps. So I'm very much in favor of fixing this exploit, but then figure out if there needs to be some feature, like be able to shoot on it or allow China and USA units to remove it by driving over it or something like this. I don't know. Like you could make this an explicit feature, right? So that it doesn't feel like an exploit anymore, but you still have control over the destiny of the scrap. Yeah. Okay, what do we have here? Increase USA Comanche missile lifetime by 200 milliseconds. This change gives an additional 200 milliseconds of fuel to Comanche missiles so that they can hit targets on slightly lower terrain. This is a frequent occurrence on maps like DEFCON 6, which contains valleys and hills across a terrain where Comanches are often on a different elevation to their targets. It feels bad when the missiles just magically disappear into thin air because the Comanches are hovering over slightly elevated terrain. Yeah. So range before. Yeah. This looks, let's look at it again. This is very bad. Like this should not happen, right? Yeah. Patch, range after, and they can shoot on it. I think there was another idea here. Yeah. So it's still not enough here. I think there was an idea to maybe few exhausted missile drop to the ground and have it explode upon impact. This way it would not be able to follow fleeing targets for longer, but could hit immobile targets further down. Yeah. So I'm very much in favor of fixing this bug, but it doesn't necessarily have to be fixed this exact same way. Yeah. So I would say here, yes. There are better ways to fix this. There are better ways to fix this. I say there are different ways to fix this. So in principle, I would like to have it fixed, but it doesn't have to be fixed this exact way. But I will put yes anyway. Yeah, because I fundamentally agree with fixing the bug behavior. Yeah. Gile terrorists and Gile hijackers cannot be attack moved. Terrorists and hijackers are only used right now early game or to steal an army late game. Terrorists and hijackers. Early game to steal an army late game. Other than that, these units don't really get used mid-game onwards. One thing we can do to make them more easily used is by adding the attack move feature, allowing the players to make them attack when moving towards the enemy. Yeah. Terrorists and hijackers lack the attack move button, but if we enable this button, they won't follow the command given to them. So this is both a data issue and a code issue. Sure, it would have to be tested. It would possibly be controversial if the respective buttons were added and they worked. But currently they don't even work if they are added, hence the bug designation. Yeah. I mean, every unit that has a weapon should be attack movable, right? So, yeah, I think it makes sense to fix it. Yeah, I think so. Adjust vehicle mass. What is this? This change adjusts mass of all ground vehicles, air drones, and their hulks, not including helicopters. Mass. Rational. This change gives vehicles and their hulks consistent masses. This means they will behave consistently on physics events. Additionally, vehicle masses have changed to fit the respective estimated masses of the vehicles, where smaller vehicles get smaller mass and larger vehicles get larger mass. With more illogical mass setup, the physics behavior of each unit is more representative of the physical size. Small light vehicles can be pushed more easily than large heavy vehicles. Gameplay-wise, this is mostly inconsequential, does however affect some stronger tanks like Overlord, which can survive pushing weapons such as nuke missiles, nuke bomber, Alpha Aurora. Does however affect some stronger tanks like, yeah. So with this change, the Overlord doesn't fly as much in the air anymore when hit by physicalized weapons like these guys here. Original video sample. So this is the original game. And the Overlords say fly into the heaven and kill some planes as well. Yeah. Okay. So this is original and this is a patched. The following video shows Overlord, Class 3, vehicle mass 150, Dragon, Class 2 vehicle of mass 100, Humvee, Class 1 vehicle of mass 50. Let's take a look at that. Killed all the planes again. Okay, so smaller vehicles have less mass and bigger vehicles have more mass. That's basically the change here. I will vote yes on this. I see the other guys, they voted no, but I will vote yes anyway. To me, it makes sense. Next. Fix unreliability of historic bonus weapons. This change fixes historic bonus weapons not triggering reliably. The issue is that whenever a historic bonus weapon is triggered, for example, Firestorm, it resets the historic bonus count for all weapons using the same template. This means that if a Firestorm is triggered while another Firestorm is halfway to triggering, that other Firestorm's progress will be reset. In addition, historic damage instances now more accurately expire based on the weapon template's historic bonus time rather than the global historic damage limit. Yeah. So, bad Firestorm. Let's take a look at that. So here's a Firestorm created, but here not. Yeah, because of the bug. And there's no sample video for the good firestorm, but good firestorm means this one creates firestorm and this one as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm very much in favor of this. Yes. Well, this one is a duplicate here of what we already addressed. China nationalism, apply fire rate bonus to units regardless of horde bonus. Where was this? Bug fix. Here. Copy. This was fixed with but needs to be opt-in. But can be explicitly can be explicitly enabled. Spikers channels game code. Okay, so this one, I'll say yes. Good. What do we have here? China horde bonus is not activated with garrisoned units in proximity. China horde bonus. Setup. Blah, blah, blah. All options, blah, blah. Fixing this would make all China generals, but especially infantry generals, stronger because 5+ tank hunters loaded an outpost and helix would always have horde bonus. Currently, China needs to carefully garrison to carry horde bonus into the garrison. Yeah, it's weird behavior. I think it would be good to fix it, but yeah, it needs careful consideration. Yeah, so counterbalance, offset fixing the fire rate bonus. Right, so we take something away here, and this one is giving something back. Right, it's a nice counterbalance. Yeah, yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I will put not activated. I will vote yes on this one. All the other guys voted no. Activated. Projectiles can be destroyed unexpectedly. Projectiles can be destroyed. In this case, Aurora Bomb destroys the Alpha Aurora Bomb. No gas explosion triggers. Let's take a look at that. Classic. Classic. Let's see that again. Classic. Yeah, I think this one is very good to fix. Okay. What do we have here? Jets now defer attack, force attack, attack move, and guard commands while reloading. Defer attack, force attack, attack move, and guard commands while reloading. Yeah. There was a big discussion here on this. Let me refresh my memory. Here. Current jet behavior. Airborne, landing, taxiing. Execute any commands immediately. On red. Green. Defer all commands until fully reloaded. Defer all commands except move commands. Blue. Defer all commands. Airborne, reloading. Blue, defer all commands except move commands until fully reloaded. Reloading. Airborne. Execute any command immediately. Let's think about this. So fully execute any commands immediately. Airborne. Reloading. Man, this is a big discussion here. I'm not sure about this yet. I don't want to cast a vote on that just yet. It's not clear to me. And it looks like other people are also unsure about this. Yeah. I won't cast a vote on this yet. Yeah. Chinooks and helixes now correctly wait for their passengers to disembark. This change adjusts Chinook and helix behavior so that they evacuate the passengers with the correct timing. In the retail game, the exit delay field of the transport contain module is ignored and all passengers are immediately evacuated, unless the aircraft is already landed. With this change, the exit delay field is always respected and remains consistent across all evacuation pathways. If the immediate evacuation behavior from the retake game is preferred, the exit delay can be simply tweaked to 0. As a bonus, the double evacuation bug is also fixed as a result of this change. So before, all passengers are dumped straight away. And here, well, double evac. Okay. Double evac. So this is both bugs behavior, and this is now the fixed behavior. Let's take a look at that again. Maybe it's too slow. Not sure. I mean, they evacuate quite fast, right? But it's slower than your original, right? I mean, the bug should be fixed, definitely, but I'm not sure about the speed of these. Yeah. I will. So I agree with the code bug fix, but I'm not sure about the evacuation speed. Like maybe it's too slow, right? Because there's something to say about being able to drop your units and laser lock something right away, right? Without any delays. So I will put it on unsure. Yeah. Move China overlord evacuation button to common position. This change moves the China evacuation button to the common evacuation position. This allows you to evacuate the overlord with other transport units in a group selection. Okay. This one is pretty much a no-brainer. Yes. Decrease small poison field radius from 12 to 7.5. This change decreases small poison field radius from 12 to 7.5 to match small anthrax beta and anthrax gamma field radius. The small poison field is used by Scorpion tank toxin shells. The particle effect size was adjusted to closer match the damage radius. Original damage radius 12, 75, 75, 10, 10, 15, 12. So that is this is the anthrax beta, anthrax gamma. And gun gamma from the rebel, and the toxin truck is 10. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that the unupgraded toxin field is larger than the other two, right? So yeah, I think this is a no-brainer fix. Yeah. Okay, what do we have here? Prioritize larger toxin and radiation hazard fields over smaller ones. This change prioritizes larger toxin and radiation field puddles over smaller ones. Larger fields will require more hazard damage to clean up. This change fixes the exploitative hazard field behavior when players would typically fire a single shot on any hazard field to remove it in an instant. It also fixes a bug where the death field of the toxin tractor would remove its sprinkler contamination field. The death field of the toxin tractor would remove its sprinkler. Yeah. So small poison and radiation fields, 120 damage. Patched 100, 100, 1000, 1000, 5000. Consequences. Originally, any field could be cleaned up with any other field. Now, larger fields require more damage from smaller fields to clean up. Fields of equal size clean up each other with one shot. The anthrax bombed and nuke missiles now have the largest and therefore most persistent fields. They will take 100 small, 10 medium, or 2 large field hazard damages to clean up. Smaller fields can stack on top of larger fields now, as long as the smaller fields do not manage to clean up the bigger ones. But larger fields will always clean up smaller ones if they spawn afterwards and with their core inside the smaller field's object radius. In practice, it will take more than 5 scorpions with toxin shells and no junk repair to clean the anthrax bomb field, and more than 5 nuke battlemaster tanks to clean the nuke missile field before the tanks die on the respective fields. The more tanks, the quicker the cleanup can be completed. A single USA ambulance would take 200 frames or 6.66 seconds to clean up the anthrax bomb and nuke missiles. The more ambulances, the quicker the cleanup can be completed. 6 scorpions with toxin shells versus anthrax bomb toxins. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Six Battlemasters versus nuke missile radiation. Mm-hmm. Very close call. Yeah. Ambulances versus anthrax bomb. The anthrax bomb takes 15 frames to kill Humvee when it's inside the initial explosion radius. 165 or 5.5 seconds to kill Humvee when it is outside the initial explosion radius. This means when with patched hazard cleanup setup, one USA ambulance will not be enough to save a group of Humvees on the anthrax bomb puddle. 2 USA ambulances are required. Humvees ambulances survived the initial anthrax bomb explosion with around 10% health. Mm-hmm. Rational. This change mitigates the power of the field cleanup exploit, where a single hazard field would clean up any other hazard field in a matter of milliseconds. With this change, it requires more effort and time to clean up a field of significant size, while still retaining the original design where hazard fields of the opposition can be cleaned. As a result, all toxin and radiation field weapons become better. Anthrax bomb. The increased difficulty of hazard cleanup is how do you pronounce this? Analogous, I don't know, to the expected strength of the anthrax bomb's anthrax field. The field is supposed to last 60 seconds at most. Assuming a player cleans it up in 10 seconds means that the anthrax bomb effectiveness is reduced by 83%, ignoring the damage dealt by the initial bomb explosion. Cleaning it in 20 seconds means the anthrax bomb effectiveness is reduced by 66%. It is well within the realm of possibilities to clean the anthrax field within 60 seconds or shoot down the plane before the bomb drop. Yeah. So, in my opinion, this fix makes a lot of sense, or this tweak makes a lot of sense. Now, whether this exact setup is a desired setup that, you know, is up for debate, but to me, it doesn't make sense that you shoot once on a anthrax bomb hazard field and it's gone. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it shouldn't be. It should take more effort, and so I think this change is very desirable. Is this marked as a bug? It is, yeah. Yeah. I think this makes a lot of sense. MT King was happy with this. Yeah. So I would vote yes for this. Yeah. Next. What is this here? Oh, we have way too many tabs open now. China dozers disarm mines by moving across minefield. Current behavior. A GLA worker does not get harmed when walking across a minefield, and the mines do not detonate. China dozer does not get damaged when driving across a minefield, but the mines do detonate. Right. Yeah, I think this needs some fix. I don't know yet what the fix would be exactly. But yeah, it doesn't seem right that the dozer just drives over the mines explode, and then the dozer is unharmed. It doesn't make sense. And why can't the worker walk over the mines? Does he have like holy shoes or holy feet? Or what is this? Doesn't make sense. I think this needs to be fixed. I say yes. Yes. Next. Remove radiation hazard immunity from GLA toxin tractor. This change removes the radiation hazard immunity from the GLA toxin tractor. It now has the same resistance as a China Dragon tank, 50%. There's no rationale here. It's a bug. The toxin tractor is labeled specifically to be immune to toxins in code. I think it was an oversight that it is immune to radiation. No other GLA unit is. The Dragon tank is immune to fire, but not immune to poison and radiation. I think the radiation immunity of the tractor can be considered a bug because by design, the expectation is that everything in contact with poison and radiation will take damage unless there are specific reasons not. The toxin tractor spills toxins, so it must be able to stand on toxins. That is reasonable, but it does not own radiation abilities, and therefore having radiation immunity is counterintuitive. I think this change is proper and the gameplay impact is negligible. We can increase armor against radiation, so impact will be less. 50% is not bad for the tractor. 25% armor would be pretty good. Yeah. I still agree with this assessment, so I will vote yes on this. Yes. Okay, what do we have here? Moab B-2 bomber countermeasures evasion rate. Almost all airplanes, including the Air Force General B-2 carpet bomber, have a 30% missile evasion rate after countermeasures upgrade. The Moab bomber is 50% for whatever reason. The more bomb has 50%. This seems to be an oversight because missile evasion rate was nerfed from 50% in 1.0.2. The error likely happened because the object is placed in a strange file that only contains a B2 and a Chinese bomber that has no countermeasures. All B2 bomber variants have the same 30% missile evasion rate as almost all other planes. This is technically a nerf, but I do not think the more bomber even needs the extra missile evasion, considering that it will not be shot down by Stingers or Patriots unless there are massive amounts of them. The only real impact I see is trying to mob massive blobs of Torvis. It outruns Rocketeer missiles. No one cares about more bomber. No, at least try it out first. Yeah, so we never merged this change. I will put it on unsure. Okay, next one. Remove command center scaffold requirement from GLA cache bounty activation. This change removes the command center scaffold requirement for GLA cache bounty. It makes the interaction with cache bounty more intuitive. Yeah, I was happy with this back in the day. And remove requirement GLA cache bounty activation. I say yes. GLA hijacker enters former enemy vehicles on guard mode. This means when a group of hijackers run to a transporter, then the first hijacker will steal it, and the remaining ones will enter it until it is full. It's not useful against Humvees and other transports. Hijackers should steal on guard mode only. No other infantry enters transport vehicles on guard mode. Yeah, this looks like it should be fixed. Yeah. There's not a video of it, but yeah, I think this one should be fixed. Okay, we didn't get too far here on this one. I think I will take a break here. Yeah. Then maybe maybe we can continue this in another session. Okay, cool. Then the time is 2 hours. I will take a break here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.